Hello, sweet souls. We are here today with Inkebeka to talk all about intuition. So get cozy, sit back, relax, and we really hope that you enjoy this recording. So, Inkebeka, why don't you start by telling us what intuition is and why it is so important for us human beings to cultivate?
Intuition is the key to all the answers for you. Intuition is fabulous. We wish that more humans listen to their intuition. The reason is before you came to the earth, you knew that you would have a guidance system, an intricate guidance system in you between you and your higher energy, your soul, whatever you want to call it, that knew the answers and the way for you forward while you're in your human body. And the intuition is how the soul gives you messages. The spiritual realm, which includes your guides that are specifically for you, and your soul energy, which has technically already experienced the life that you're living because time doesn't exist. Slightly confusing, but we're just trying to give a bigger picture to what the answers are there for you because of your experiences, and therefore the totality of these experiences are expressed to you through knowingness, through your intuition. So, to put it in simpler terms, your intuition is how you get through life. Your intuition going within and asking yourself is how you know, and you know by the feeling. The feeling is deeper than a human emotion, it is a knowingness, and that knowingness is your intuition. It's so important because earth is confusing. You have many different inputs from media to other people to cultures to beliefs to the gender stereotypes to sexuality stereotypes. All these things you are bombarded with on a daily basis, and you are your own unique self. And the only way you know how to make a decision is by asking yourself, your own knowingness. Without that, you can get completely lost in other people's lives and other people's belief systems. Before you have been born at the time that you are here now, there has been thousands, millions of years of belief systems ingrained on the earth planes. So the only way to not get swept up with these ideologies that might serve you, might not, the only way to decipher between this is by following that intuitive knowing. So intuition equals knowing, equals your knowing. It doesn't mean going on other people's guidance because their intuition is working for them. It means going to your own guidance system on everything in life. And as we talk more through, we know you've got some questions for us, Kate. We will explain the difference between emotion, intuition, logic, intuition, all the times when to put the intuition first and why.
Okay, great. Thank you. Um, can you give us human beings ways that we can enhance our intuition?
Absolutely. The biggest one, which most people have heard by now, is meditation. Meditation, meditation, meditation. Giving yourself the space to stop and just be. That gives you space from thoughts. Even if you can't stop your thoughts, no one can stop their thoughts, by the way. It's an incorrect theory. It's more that you allow the space to arise more between the thoughts. And the more you practice meditation, the more the space arises, which allows you to hear more clearly the answers that your soul has for you. So meditation, just 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's it. That's absolutely it. Quietly on your own, just sit there breathing. We prefer meditations that are not guided simply because then you will hear your intuition more. But if you first need to start with a guided meditation till you get more into it, we completely understand that. Next, we would say stop bombarding your senses every second of the day. By that, we mean give your brain space to be. Feel the presence within you. Don't have music on the whole time. Don't have the TV on the whole time. Don't be in the car listening to something. Just be. This allows you to hear more your intuition because you're not bombarded with overload of the senses. We are finding people are becoming less and less intuitive the more they use technology. So if you're constantly addicted to a stimuli, that affects your own processing. Your brain doesn't give you space to hear internal messages. It just sort of jumps from one anxious thought to the next, whether humans recognize that as an anxious thought or not. In quietness, in stillness, that is when you have more confidence in the answers that arise from you, that they are actually what you should be listening to. It is just a choice. It is recognizing either through what you've read or had experience of through your life or listening to our understandings now, how important intuition is. Once that is a recognition to yourself, then it's easy. Play with it, have fun with it. When you're shopping, pick up something and ask your intuition. Ask yourself, do I want this product? Do I need this product? If it's something you're unsure about, your body will tell you. You'll feel yourself moving forward to it if it's good for you, or you'll feel yourself moving away from it if your body's like, That is in essence your intuition giving you feedback. You can start prioritizing it by when you make a decision, checking in. So at the moment, because the masculine energy is the dominant force on the earth, at the moment, we hope that changes, obviously, but masculine energy comes with logic. It's seen as a logical energy. And that means that humans are taught throughout their life to weigh up the pros and cons when deciding something. And that is good, which we'll talk about later. But there's another way, and that's asking yourself internally and going on a feeling vibe rather than a head vibe. So it's about feeling it out, and that you just need to do with practice. Do I want to go to that party? What's your immediate knowingness? Don't override it. If the answer is no, then don't try make it a yes. It's a no. You've got the answer. And bit by bit, you'll start trusting yourself to know when and where, and life will have a little bit more of an ease about it, and you'll know you're on the right track.
Great. So the next question is, what happens if you don't follow your intuition?
Well, the negative vibration just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. the message from the universe or source or God, however you want to put it, just becomes louder and louder and louder. For example, let's have a look. What example can we use? What happened with Georgie was there was a friend in her friendship circle, and Georgie was not sure about this friend because she had a very selfish energy, very inconsiderate and egotistical, and it didn't sit right with Georgie's intuition. But she felt she couldn't say anything to the other women in the group because she didn't want to appear mean or exclusive or make her feel left out. So she obviously just carried along. And the other girls also, she could tell intuitively they didn't want to be around this person, but they also wanted to be more inclusive and kind, so they just went along with it. And with time, more drama and drama started to come up with having this friend in their circle of friendship. And it resulted with them all, from her, the friend who was quite selfish, contracting COVID. She then went to a party where they were all there and gave most of them COVID. And she knew that she probably had it. So that was a turning point for them all. The universe was louder and louder and louder until they were all like, okay, this is not acceptable anymore. But it had to get to a point where they could really hear it. They had to get unwell till they could hear it, right? Whereas if you just followed the step at the beginning that this is not right, if they'd all just listened to their inner voices and just gently decided not to hang around with that person, it would have saved them a lot of emotional entanglement and drama that was unnecessary. So that is one example of where the universe just gets louder and louder and louder until you're like, okay, logically, intuitively, emotionally, this is not okay. And we're saying you can get to that point a lot sooner to save yourself so much time.
Okay, this is a really poignant question for me because it's something that I struggle with a lot. Can you explain the difference really between emotions and your intuition, and how to know it's emotions playing out or how to know it's your deep knowing and intuition?
Okay, we would say if it's your intuition, it would not be based on fear. So fear is a human emotion. It's not coming from your intuition. So fear is based on your survival. It's based on your past experiences. So it's an emotion that's trying to keep you physically and emotionally safe. Where intuition is more a guidance system towards something. So let's have a think. How else we could explain it? We can look at an example of how it can be for women who have a hard time emotionally before the period, right? Before their periods. So emotionally, they're up and down, perhaps like a yo-yo, because there's a hormonal element that's making them feel bad or grumpy or hungry or sad or whatever it is. Those are very emotions based. They will still have a knowingness underneath that emotional outside shell, let's say, of what's right and wrong. So, for example, if they were to be with their partner, say they have a male partner, they know, they have an intuitive knowing they're supposed to be with that person. But during their emotional upheaval, they probably won't get rid of the partner. They'll just be annoyed by the partner. So intuitively, they still know that the partner's good for them. Other examples are if you're grumpy, as we said with the shop example. Say you're grumpy and you go to the shop, or you're overwhelmed, or you're tired, or you're irritated. Those are all emotions. You can still ask yourself the questions whether something's right for you or not. Your body will still respond. It will still move forward or backward, showing you the right answer. Your body will still know the right friends you should have, or what job you should have. It's a sustainable, long term, more stable answer if it's your intuition than if it's just a superficial emotion on top of the surface.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I really like that. And it actually made me think of something that I've heard before. And that is the when it's your intuition, it actually comes to you like void of any emotion, whether that's happiness or fear. Um, and I just wondered if you could talk on that a little bit more.
It's simply a yes or a no. There's no drama attached to it, there's no reasons. Should I go to that party? No, because that person's there, that person's there, that will happen, that will go wrong. There's no story like that. That's your emotion. It's a no. That's it. That's your answer. So, very good point.
Okay, great. I think that's really clear, and that definitely really helps me. For the next question, I'd like to talk about logic versus intuition. Not like in a battle, but whether we should be prioritizing our logical, rational side of the brain, or we should be prioritizing our intuition.
Intuition always wins, hands down. Your intuition will always be the summary of all that you have lived and all that you are going to live. So it will include the logical side. Intuition, as we've said, is not emotion. So, for example, say you're in a steady relationship and you have the emotion of lust and you want to have an affair and you think, well, I'm just acting intuitively to have this affair. That's not your intuition, that's your lust. Intuitively, it'll be saying no, no, no. It'll be including the logical side, which is I vowed to be with this person, or having this affair will wreck my relationship, or all the logical sides to things. So people often mistake intuition with certain feelings, but it's totally different. So intuition always wins, hands down. We want logical people to cultivate intuition. We want over emotional people to cultivate intuition. We want everyone to. It's not feminine, it's not masculine. It's simply that internal knowing that is for every cell in the world. And by every cell, we mean that every animal is made up of intuition, every human is made up of intuition. It's just simply that humans are very good at avoiding their intuition with distraction and with other input, whereas animals and plants have more of an innate knowing. They just know. And you as a human can get back to that through what we've explained, knowing how intuition works, why it's important, how to give yourself space to hear it, and why it's so it should be put first on the priority list.
Okay, got it. Intuition put first on the priority list. So that nicely rounds up all the questions that I have for you, Inkebeka. I'm just actually wondering if you have any final closing comments that you would like to give us in terms of intuition.
Yes. We would say it's very important to be hashtag energy selfish. And by energy selfish, it sounds like, oh, is Inkebeka now promoting selfishness? And we would say yes when it comes to your energy. And that means knowing that it's okay to follow your intuition, in the sense that if you get a no about something, then say no. Don't override that. If everyone was following their intuition, the world would be in this beautiful, merry dance. Everyone would be dancing with their interaction. They would arrive at the right time. They would be late when they were supposed to be late. They would interact with who they should interact with. They would just not be invited to the party that the person knew not to invite them to. There would be a complete effortlessness. But because we're not there yet, not most people are not following their intuition at all times, which is why we're giving this message. So instead, it's important for those who are cultivating their intuition to recognize that it's fine to be energetically selfish. If you have a good friend that's asking something from you and it's not okay at the time, you can say no. And the reason it's good to say no is because you will not be in the right framework of mind. You will begrudge it. They will feel your negative energy. It won't contribute to your friendship. But say you feel there's a better time for you, or there's your intuition is pushing you towards something, not pushing, but just saying this is a good way to go, the people around you will feel that too. And life is more effortless. So stop doing things that your intuition is saying hell no to. If it's really saying no, then please stop doing it. Be energetically selfish and know that it's actually filling you up more. You will overflow with love more because your intuition is guiding you to the perfect opportunities to be kind to other people, to the perfect opportunities to love yourself more and therefore love others more. And hence, it's a beautiful thing to be energetically selfish. We want to give you some imagery. There's like a beautiful light inside of you. And this is your intuition. And this light, it's as if you're going around through life. It grows brighter when something's good for you. When you go, we say a path because humans love metaphors, but let's say you're going down the wrong path, so to say, the light will dim within you. And that is your guiding light through the philosophies, through the Bible, through all these ancient scripts. They talk about a guiding light or your star, whatever it is. And they're talking about your intuition that moves with you gracefully, just showing you the way. As the light gets brighter, you know, yes, 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 that's where I go. If the light gets dimmer, it's like, this is not for me. So see that light in you, feel it, feel that dance through life. Let it be more effortless, humans. We see you struggle so much and we think, why? Their intuition was screaming at them. Their intuition was telling you yes or no, and you had the answer all along. And if you really are feeling stuck, there's a game you can play where you ask fast questions. You get a friend or a family member or a neighbor to come and ask you questions about whether you want to be doing something or not. For example, let's say, Kate, we're going to ask you some questions now. Let's say you don't know whether you like yoga or not, right? Let's just say you're thinking, I'm not sure I want to do yoga. Okay. And so to get to this point, you can get someone to ask you fast questions, and the answer that you give is your intuitive knowingness. So we'll give this as an example. Are you ready, Kate?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you like purple?
Yes.
Do you like the spring?
Yes.
Are you in love with your nephews?
Oh my God, yes.
Do you want to drive?
Yes.
Do you like motorbikes?
No.
Do you want to do yoga?
Yes.
There we go. So she didn't have time. You could even do it faster than this example, but she didn't have time to cognitively process the pros and the cons. She just knew. And that is how you can get yourself out of tricky situations, tricky decisions, everything by that simple game if you're really feeling stuck. So we hope that we have given some guidance that is helpful. We are always willing to answer more questions about intuition. We wish that every human being knew how or knows how powerful their intuition is. It is your home. It is the answer to everything. It is this beautiful guidance within you. Cultivate it, love it, trust in it, believe in it. It is especially for you. It is who you are from the greater awareness. And know that it's basically like your soul has got your back. And this is the way that it has your back, by communicating through you through this way.
Thank you so much, Inkebeka. We hope that you enjoyed, everyone.